Not only do I have a habit of Starbucks, but I have a habit of buying seeds, and too many seeds usually is what I end up planting. But this winter I decided to winter sow only plants that are high priority for me. I have 2 cups for each of the 3 seeds that I have chosen to grow for winter sowing. I made it a priority this year that I want to add more climbing bloomers, more plants for height and color, and a bucket list plant, a plant that I've been wanting in my garden for a long time that may be frivolous. I might not be able to grow, but I want it. And those obelisk trellises that I put together last year are going to get some climbing jasmine. Yep, climbing jasmine was what I chose for my climbing bloomers. And that's what's going in the first and second cup. I've had great success planting seeds and growing in Starbucks cups like this for winter sowing. I've done some hollyhocks and sunflowers, an assortment of others, and they work out great. Foam lids for these are best, but I didn't have that. I had the flat lids, and I'm going to go with it. This light, fluffy soil will sink down after being watered a few times, and there'll be about a couple inches of height there for the plants to grow. Second seed choice is foxgloves. I want to add foxgloves to the middle garden so that it adds to that charming cottage garden look, adding height and color to that middle section of the garden. And finally, the bucket list plant, Linaria. It is a beautiful plant, the honesty plant is grown in a lot of gardens in Ireland that I visited, and I always admired it. I love the way the seed pods are just translucent, and you can see the little seeds through them, and it's just beautiful. So the flowers are pretty, yeah. The seed pods are even more interesting. So I really want to try to grow this plant, and I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if I can give it the water needs that it needs, but I'm going to try because it's my bucket list plant. Because everybody has to live on the edge a little bit. Try a bucket list plant. Now, the perfect thing about growing in these cups is once you water and put the lids on, that humidity stays in there and you really don't have to water but every couple days. Just check to see if the soil is still damp. And if it's dried out a little bit, then add some water and then recover. And now for a look at the garden. And here's a follow-up on the hillside project. This is what I've got going on so far, and everything looks good to the back of the garden. And I'm going to take you down a little bit further on the hillside and show you the strip that I've completed. I've got lots more to do, and I still have a lot to do, but from the beginning, this is a project I knew was going to take me several years, so it's just going to be one strip at a time that I can get accomplished, and that's okay. It already is shaping up and looking a lot better, so here's what we've got so far. And then I'll take you up to the main garden and we'll look at each little garden section in my backyard garden and just follow up to see how everything's doing. And we'll start with the spiral garden. Everything is coming along nicely, and everything's maintaining really good with the cactus and the succulents. And this is intentionally my low water needs part of the garden. It's the furthest space from the house and the hardest to water, so that was just a no-brainer to make that very low water needs area. And the next area in the garden we'll move to is the middle section, what I call the middle section of the garden, the middle garden. I'll probably always call it the middle garden, but what the middle garden is meant to be and what I'm working towards is making it lush and full and more like a cottage garden with lots of color, lots of flowers, and just really pretty, beautiful flower garden. And that's what I'm aiming to achieve in this little area here and over on this side of the pathway. It's coming along nicely, and I'm really happy with how it's filling out. And hopefully in the springtime, I'll get those climbing jasmine growing up those garden obelisks. Won't that be pretty? And these are the 3 pincushion plants that I bought at JC Growers this week. You might have seen that video. And I'm just trying to decide where I'm going to put them in the garden. So for right now, they're staying in their nursery pots until I decide. Maybe you can see a spot where they should go. Let me know. In just a few weeks, I'm going to have lots and lots of daffodil blooms, some pretty yellow color in the middle garden. That's always exciting to me. I love the daffodils. One thing I like about aloes is that there's so many different kinds and they all bloom at different times of the year. I've got some in bloom right now and some that will continue to bloom clear into August. Aloes are perfectly wonderful plants for blooms in a flower garden. And aloe blooms draw in the hummingbirds like crazy. Many of you remember my artichokes and how much I love the artichokes, and that I actually grow the artichokes not for the fruit that they give, but for the foliage. I think those big leaves on artichokes are absolutely beautiful. And now what I call the first garden, or the garden closest to the house. This is where it all began. This is the first garden that I started to grow. And it's mostly aeoniums and succulents, and the daffodils, of course, come up here close to the house. They're the first ones that open up, and aren't they pretty? And all of the aeoniums this year have decided they want to bloom. And a lot of people think that aeoniums, when they bloom, it means it's a death bloom, like the plant's going to die. That's not always the case. If you cut that stalk off, that plant will continue to live. And believe me, I've got some experience with the aeoniums by now to know. And this is the area that I half jokingly call the farm. It's where I grow my salad crops, my lettuce, my spinach, my kale. It all grows in these raised beds here. That's a status plant. And I'll be taking that out and transplanting that into the main garden. Oh, and I have radishes too, and I just noticed my first couple of radishes just poking through the soil. Pretty excited about that. I love to add fresh radish to my salad. And of course, we can't forget the cactus patch. The cactus patch that I inherited that's been on this property for about 50 years. And it's really a big focal point in the garden. And I didn't even really like it. When I first started gardening, I wanted to take it out, and I decided no. I'm going to clean up all the weeds in it, and it has really responded. And let me tell you, the blooms are beautiful on that cactus every year. I have numerous bulbs planted in the raised beds, and I have a video out when I replanted those. Every couple of years, I dig out the old bulbs and replace with new. Larry the lazy cat is not my cat, but he is a regular in the garden. He loves my garden, and I don't even know who Larry belongs to, if he belongs to anybody, but he's a frequent flyer in the garden, and I love that cat. The rock garden is a really special place to me because my mom helped me develop this rock garden years ago. She and I got in here and started this rock garden, and it was just a tiny little section, and it's grown so much over the years. It's really low maintenance, succulents and cactus mostly. And in the spring and summer, it's a lizard playground. Got little lizards that run all over this rock garden, and it's really fun to watch them. And the last update, I had my orientation with the Master Gardeners, and so that has begun. I'll be starting classes in a couple of weeks, every Saturday, all day, and studying hard so that I can learn more about gardening, more about how to make my garden better, and more about learning things that I can teach to other people and work with the community about growing plants, about caring for soil, and about community involvement. And I'm just really looking forward to that. And I hope to be able to pass along what I learned to you. Thanks for joining me today on Garden Discovery. I appreciate each and every one of you who tunes in and faithfully watches all the videos. You guys are really special, and I really appreciate you. And Larry appreciates you too. We'll talk to you later. Now get out there and garden your heart out.